And we're back at abcnews.com's Top Line. Anna Marie Cox back from vacation. Anna Marie Cox of Air America. I understand you turned into quite the karaokeer over this break. Can you confirm before?
I will not deny.
Okay, all right.
That karaoke
We're gonna
was
take that.
performed.
What's your preferred song?
Well, let's see. I think we did Daydream Believer.
Okay.
That's always
nice.
a crowd pleaser.
Everyone loves it. Speaking of everyone loving it, so we've got David Axelrod goes out yesterday.
Speaking of everyone loving it, yes.
Great transition. Axelrod goes out yesterday, talks to a bunch of different media outlets, and says, "Now we've got a new strategy. We're going to come out. Here we go. Let's go.
Yeah.
Brand new strategy.
It's new strategy.
And it means
our
details.
new strategy is telling you we have a new strategy.
It may be that.
And the details, well, they're coming.
We still don't know. But
I mean, that's sort of like, I love that they're now like, what we really should do is tell you what our plan is.
Tell you that we have a plan.
That's what we should do.
But in the absence of that plan, a lot of talk about the public option and whether the White House is going to just drop this.
It does seem like the signals that he was giving, but of course that's not new. I mean, I feel like every time they may make some sort of overture on the public option, it gets written up as they're willing to drop it. People I talk to say that the president's very serious about it. He really wants this. But I always feel like you can't be really serious about something and then not put something on the table that's asking people to do this. This is what I want you to do. And we still don't really know. I mean, I think that I do think it's sort of the lack of direction on the top and the ability for people to find sort of areas to argue with him and him not argue back is really what's sort of making these town halls not just contentious, but opening them to be town halls not just on healthcare, but about an entire set of things that people are dissatisfied with.
Well, what is new, what appears to be new, and I understand that we don't have details yet and we'll wait for them, but what appears to be new, and this truly is new, because they've never said, he is going to have a plan that he's going to put out there, whether or not it's as detailed as we all would like it would be. He's going to own it in a way that he hasn't yet.
And that will be helpful for him in Congress. I mean, that's something that people, as I'm sure you guys have heard, people on the Hill have been asking for this for a long time, to just have the political cover of Obama coming up and saying, this is my plan. I doubt if it's going to be as detailed as we want, or as detailed as people in Congress want. It'll be interesting to see what case he makes if he does address a joint session. I'm sure that people in Congress will be interested. They got very little direction going back to do these town halls. I was talking to some senators. They had a meeting on the Hill with Axelrod, and the messaging they were getting was messaging. And the senators were like, well, we would like to know what we're arguing for. And one of the things they said, well, one of the things you need to point out is we don't have a bill yet.
That's a real winner. But here's the thing. He has been talking about what he wants as part of healthcare reform. It's not like this is brand new, and he hasn't given a healthcare speech. He's given dozens of them.
And if I hear the 42, is it 42 or 46? Now I'm embarrassing myself. But I feel like I know his talking points by heart now. I was talking to a speechwriter about what he was like. Yeah, well, this one, I told this anecdote last time. I told this anecdote the other time. They're running out of sort of things to argue. And I think what's interesting now is that they're been forced into certain lines of attack by the other side. They wanted to make the moral argument more than anything else. That didn't work. Now they're having to make the financial argument, which is pretty shaky. I mean, no one quite believes it.
Right. It seems like they're still going to have to make the moral argument privately, if not publicly, to the country overall, to the liberals.
Yeah, definitely.
And if they need to give on the public option, they're going to need the liberals to come on board with the idea of, 46 million people are going to be insured.
That's right.
It also seems that the calendar's getting a little crowded. He's got UN coming up. He's got the G20 coming up. The one-year anniversary of the fall of the economy is going to dominate a lot of coverage. September 11th coverage. Afghanistan, we were just talking about. It doesn't seem that this fall he can just exclusively focus on selling healthcare.
Yeah, I don't know if that's. I mean, I'm sure they're going to try to find a way to make that work for them, and maybe it will. I mean, I think if we can see him being competent and being a leader and showing the charisma that we all know that he has, that we saw during the campaign at places like the UN, maybe that'll give him some give in public opinion. Because right now, I think he seems a little like he's flailing. He keeps on insisting that we're not going to get, if you like your health care, you're not going to lose it. And I've said to you guys before, I feel like that message point scares people. But I think we see him doing some things out there. If we see him make some big decisions, some good decisions, I think that the way they're talking about Afghanistan, although Afghanistan is truly frightening, I know that, John McCain likes what he's saying, so that's going to help him with John McCain.
Briefly, on our version of political candy is whenever Levi Johnston goes out and says something new, and now he's saying that Sarah Palin offered to adopt the Bristol Palin baby to keep it all hush-hush.
I saw that on Andrew Sullivan's blog.
What's the chance?
Vanity Fair, Vanity Fair. He wrote a whole story for Vanity Fair.
What's the chance?
No, I'm serious. Like Andrew Sullivan was like,
Look at that.
There you go. That's an
you go.
interesting idea. What are the chances that it's true?
Well, what's the chances that she responds and says something?
That's the key question.
100%.
That's what I'm with. I'm with that.
You don't think she can resist?
On her Facebook page,
By the
she
end of
will
the day, I'm
respond.
with
By the
you
end of the
on
day.
Rick was saying the same thing. I am predicting lessons learned, no response coming from
What
Sarah
about
Palin.
Sarah Palin? What about
Lessons
anything
learned.
that Sarah Palin has done in the past year has showed us that she's learned a lesson?
You have to allow for
Growth. I suppose.
and evolvement.
That's what I like about you. You're an optimist.
Yes, indeed. He's on the record right now. He's expecting it. We'll get back. We'll know by tomorrow. We'll tell you the latest on it. Otto Marie Cox, thanks for being here. Always great to have you, and thanks for coming
Good to be back.
Good.
Thank you. Always good to have you here. That does it for this edition of Top Line. Be sure to click us on again tomorrow.
It's twitter.com/TheNote. So I want to hear more about the karaoke. Who is the star of karaoke?
Well, to start with,